My amp unit, little impromptu Friday afternoon vid before we get to this weekend's podcast. And this is a little bit of an update, so to speak, with two major stories. Roman Reigns' mystery attacker. We have an update, or at least WWE has provided one. Sort of. I mean, there's a lot more mystery in their update than anything. I'll go over that in a second. And then also, Goldberg's return to WWE. Is he actually returning? Is it next Sunday at SummerSlam in Toronto? And is it against Dolph Ziggler? Well, one of Vince McMahon's own employees, under Triple H's guidance, might have just spoiled it for everybody, including especially the casual fans that didn't know anything about it. Is Vince McMahon furious? We'll go over all of this in a couple of minutes. I do want to start off with the Roman Reigns story and situation first. We all saw what happened at the end of SmackDown this past Tuesday. Roman Reigns is walking up to Kayla Braxton. He's going to announce his SummerSlam opponent. He's got all the power bestowed upon him. He's got the keys to the kingdom. He can pick exactly who he wants to face next. Now, we're used to seeing that from champions, right? Kofi Kingston basically picked out Randy Orton. Bayley basically picked out Ember Moon. Roman Reigns, last I checked, doesn't even have a championship. Fuck it. He's the big dog. The big dog. Who is he, Michael Cole? He's the big dog. It's boss time. Sorry, I had to add some Sasha Banks in there. This has nothing to do with Sasha. But the big dog gets to pick his own opponent for SummerSlam. So he's walking up to Kayla, and all of a sudden, all of these grids and scaffolding fall on top of him. Now, he comes out of this unscathed, but he's spooked. Paramedics and Bruce Pritchard and some officials are trying to help him out. You okay, Roman? We got you. And he's like, no, I'm fine. I'm good. He looks like he's seen 7 ghosts. And then he just walks away. And SmackDown pretty much ends abruptly. Now, we've had the main suspect in our mind as Samoa Joe, right? Just 24 hours earlier, him and Samoa Joe were involved in some beef. Right? They got the drama already. So your first instinct is it's Samoa Joe, obviously. Then people are saying, no, I saw Buddy Murphy walking away from the crime scene before they went off the air. It's got to be Buddy Murphy. Then we start hearing from Meltzy Boy that he's hearing it could be Daniel Bryan. And the reason that they keep on kind of postponing his big announcement is that it's going to lead right into a Roman Reigns feud as early as SummerSlam. But WWE has now come up with an update. First of all, their first statement when all of this was, and this is a statement by WWE, their initial statement. Now, there has been updates. We're going to go over that, but this is their initial statement. A preliminary investigation has found the incident Tuesday night involving Roman Reigns was caused by a forklift backstage carrying lighting grids that were not properly secured. So WWE is saying, regardless of what you're hearing, this was just a forklift incident, an accident. Then they updated it at 10:40 a.m. early this morning Eastern Time. This is an update by WWE. It has now been determined that the incident in question was specifically caused by a forklift driver error. Well, obviously, that goes hand in hand with your first statement. A forklift was not properly secured with lighting grids. Well, yeah, the forklift wouldn't be to blame. It would be the driver. Thanks for the update, schmucks. But then they took it a step further an hour and a half later. This is at 12:10 Eastern Time, just today. Update again by WWE. At this point, the identity of the forklift driver has not been determined. So they're making this whole forklift driver thing public. So you know that this is going to add to their story. They want you to believe that somebody is after Roman and they got in the forklift and they tried to take him out with a forklift. I like it. That's cool. The problem I have is we're so close to SummerSlam. Are they really going to try to drive this home to us this Tuesday on the Go Home show just to rush a match at SummerSlam? It looks that way, and if you're telling me that Daniel Bryan is the culprit, maybe he's even got Eric Rowan working for him. If you're telling me that, then on one hand, Daniel Bryan, Roman, I'm down, take my money. We've seen it once before. I believe that's when Roman was getting booed out of the building and Daniel Bryan was the fucking hero, obviously. The roles are a little bit reversed, but from what I remember from that first match, it was good. So I'll catch it again. But on the other hand, you're rushing Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns in just a week and a half? Under 2 weeks, you have to build this thing, and this is something that could be built really cool. So I'm down with this story. I would not rush this to SummerSlam. Yes, that's a huge attraction match. You can still have Roman kind of take someone out. Maybe he thinks it could be Daniel Bryan, and he ends up taking on Eric Rowan in an exhibition match at SummerSlam. Fucking 3 minutes, squash it out, do what you gotta do, but save Daniel Bryan and Roman. I think you can carry this out a little bit. Personally, I wouldn't even have Rowan involved. I would not have Roman knowing who the fuck it is. What does that say for SummerSlam? I don't know. I feel WWE fucked this up. They should have started this several weeks ago. This could have been a cool thing for SummerSlam. Instead, they're playing around with Samoan summits. At this point, the only thing they can do is pretty much have a rematch, Samoa Joe and Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, because maybe Roman thinks it was Samoa Joe. And maybe after the match at SummerSlam, Roman takes care of Samoa Joe, he thinks all of his problems are behind him, and all of a sudden another accident occurs. Maybe like Stone Cold and Triple H years ago. And maybe Roman Reigns is in the parking lot and he basically barely gets ran over. Right? He's okay, obviously. It's a stunt, but he gets ran over in the parking lot. We saw it with Stone Cold and the mystery guy that ended up being Triple H years ago. But that's a cool little story. Samoa Joe unfortunately gets jobbed out again, but that tells an amazing story. Roman thought it was Joe. He took care of him at SummerSlam. He thought his problems are behind him. He tells Caleb Braxton that in a post-match interview at SummerSlam. He goes off into the parking lot. Motherfucker damn near gets ran over. The mystery continues. Who the fuck is it? And it's revealed as Daniel Bryan. I'm cool with that shit, but let's drag this out. Finally, WWE has a cool story sitting in their lap. We can't rush this to next Sunday. Are you kidding me? Come on, dog. Let's play this one out. So those are the updates by WWE. They're really playing this forklift accident, but they did come out at 12:10 Eastern time earlier today, just a couple hours ago. And they said the identity of the driver has not been determined. I expect another update today saying they can't even find the driver of the forklift. So they're really playing this out, and we'll see on the go-home shows, guys. That's the update on Roman Reigns. And kind of a little bit where the Amplified Man would like to see this go. Before I end the video, though, that's not the only update. Goldberg, there's been talk that he... It's not just talk. Goldberg has come out on his social media and said the only thing he has left to do in his career is to avenge the catastrophe that happened at Super Showdown with The Undertaker. And Goldberg is dead set on having one more match. It looks like him and WWE have come to terms because he is scheduled to appear at SummerSlam in Toronto in a match. And we're hearing it's with Dolph Ziggler, and that's why WWE has not yet made Miz and Dolph official. It's because they're going to shock and awe everybody with Dolph and Goldberg. It was supposed to be a big surprise. Dolph comes out, demands he have a SummerSlam match because he's the main attraction, and Goldberg comes out. However, now, this has already kind of been spoiled by the dirt sheets, obviously, but that goes hand in hand to what I told you guys in yesterday's video. There's the hardcore fans that knows all that's in the dirt sheets, and then there's the casual fans that are literally surprised by everything WWE announces via just their platforms. Well, it looks like one of Vince McMahon's own employees, or I'm sorry, they're not employees, they're independent contractors, so I'm sure Matt Riddle doesn't give a fuck. But he might give a fuck in the future if Vince decides to fuck with him. But one of Vince McMahon's own independent contractors under Triple H's guidance down there in NXT, Matt Riddle, has took it upon himself to pretty much spoil this, even to the WWE casuals that just click out all the WWE platforms, WWE.com, WWE YouTube, or just clicks on WWE Wrestler Instagrams or WWE Wrestler Twitters. If you came across Matt Riddle's, he literally has Goldberg and Dolph Ziggler's graphics with the SummerSlam logo, and his caption is, "Hey, can I be added? Let's do a triple threat," or some shit. Spoiling the fuck out of it. If you didn't read the dirt sheets, you had no idea Goldberg was coming back. So, it's not a big deal for us diehards, obviously. We knew this, and it's no harm, no foul. But if you're Vince, you can kind of see how What the fuck, dude? I don't want my own wrestlers spoiling our big surprise. We're gonna announce it Monday, or we're gonna announce it Tuesday, or we're gonna have him show up at SummerSlam. But we don't need you putting up the graphic, telling everyone that's the match, and then asking to be put in it. So, you kind of hope that Matt Riddle doesn't get fucked up by this, and Vince doesn't punish him. We know Matt Riddle does not like Goldberg. Matt Riddle cannot stand Goldberg. He has went out of his way on social media to call Goldberg reckless, careless, said he is not safe in the ring, says he can't even wrestle. I can go on and on. Matt Riddle has laid into Goldberg. As far as I know, Goldberg has not responded once, but Matt Riddle just keeps on hammering Goldberg, and now Matt Riddle seems to have spoiled Goldberg's appearance, his comeback, his shock and awe return, his surprise return. Matt Riddle is just doing everything he can to get under Goldberg's in Goldberg's skin, man. It is fucking nuts. But Matt Riddle's got to be careful because Vince McMahon could punish him for this. We just saw it with Sami Zayn. Right? Sami Zayn goes out and tells the world he just came across The Rock at the Performance Center days before Raw Reunion. Sami Zayn tells the world The Rock is at the Performance Center just days before Raw Reunion. It doesn't take a rocket scientist or a genius to figure out why or what Rock is doing there. He's obviously going to use one of the 3 rings and go over some shit that he's going to perform that Monday at Raw Reunion, or he's just doing a pre-tape using one of the green screens there at the studio and also getting his bullet points. I wouldn't call it a script because Rock wouldn't follow it completely, but bullet points. And he was going to do a pre-tape, something they had planned for The Rock, obviously. But no, we never saw anything. Did The Rock just get so fucking pissed off that his spot was blown? Because Sami Zayn just put him on blast? And that following Monday on Raw Reunion, not only did Rey Mysterio beat Sami Zayn simplistically, the original script that we are hearing had Kurt Angle, Slaughter, and Van Dam also getting in shots on Sami Zayn. So all the legends were supposed to have their way with Sami Zayn, making Zayn look like a clown. Come to find out, Van Dam did not have clearance from TNA Impact to do anything physical. And then on top of that, Sergeant Slaughter and Kurt Angle, both for some reason undisclosed, did not pass their physical to get physical. That makes sense. That's what we're hearing. So he was saved from looking like a clown by everybody. They ended up just coming down to the rampway because nobody could actually get physical, but Rey Mysterio still beat him. Now, the following Monday, this past, we saw Sami Zayn, one of only 5 individuals in that gauntlet match that didn't make it past 20 seconds. Vince McMahon had him go in the ring, get pinned, and hit the showers. Sounds like punishment. Sami Zayn has already been a residential glorified jobber. Now it looks like Vince has took the glorified part off of him, and now Sami Zayn is just a jobber. Looks like punishment. We don't know the full details. I'm just telling you guys the timeline and how this is all kind of fishy to me. You turn this all back to Matt Riddle. That's how Vince McMahon has for years punished his superstars. He's punished them in that ring. There's even been incidents and reports that Vince has told his superstars to go out there and do the deed to somebody who's been out of line backstage. In other words, you take like an APA, they go out there through Vince's orders, and Vince tells them, hey, that son of a bitch was talking this shit, or this son of a bitch was demanding more money, or he wasn't going out. Shit like that, man. You never put it past Vince. He will punish you out there. He will punish not just behind the scenes or fine you. He will take your position and he will swipe the rug from underneath you. Matt Riddle's got some spunk. This kid's got what it takes, it looks like, at least down in NXT. If they give him some good shit on the main roster, this Matt Riddle, the king of bros, this guy could be the bro. Or Vince McMahon can already be like, what the fuck did you just do? You want to talk about your little NXT shit? That's one thing. You start talking and giving out to the public my surprises, my shit. Vince, it was already all over the dirt sheets. The casuals, a lot of them will not fucking just follow dirt sheets. They're just following our Instagrams, our Twitters, our platform, our WWE.com, WWE YouTube channel. Those motherfuckers, and he's right. Because I looked at the comment section of Matt Riddle, the post where he posted Dolph and Goldberg, and there's a lot of people that were kind of like, wow, imagine if this match happened, and somebody had to inform them, actually it already is. And that person would respond back, what? So a lot of people didn't even know Goldberg was coming back to take on Dolph, and that's what I mean. There is still some of those WWE bubble people that just follow the product, no dirt sheets, no nothing. They don't even want to know behind the scenes. Well, now Vince has his own superstars putting that shit out there before Vince and WWE actually acknowledged it or announced it. That is a problem, guys. It really is. You know, if I'm somebody who doesn't want to know all the behind the scenes shit, I'll be pissed off if I just was following one of my superstars and he just spoiled that shit, man. It's not about what I feel, though. It's about what Vince McMahon feels. As of now, guys, this is the filming. It's around 3 p.m. on a Friday afternoon. Matt Riddle has not taken those posts down. So WWE either doesn't know about it yet, or they just said, you know what, it's going to be worse for us in the public if we have you take it down. Because now everyone's going to be saying we had you take it down. Just fucking leave it up and we'll deal with you. Vince will call you later. You know, it could be one of those stitches, man. But as of right now, Matt Riddle still has those posts up. We'll see if Vince has him take it down or if Matt Riddle takes a fucking steep decline off that cliff in future months. Because that's how Vince takes out his fucking frustration, man. He will do it publicly in that ring. So that's everything, guys. I'm not sorry if I spoiled it for you. I mean, the BC Amplified channel is a lot about behind the scenes. I'm 50% at least about what happens behind the scenes. So if you're following the BC Amplified channel, chances are you're cool with spoilers and what's to come. Yes, it is true. We are hearing Goldberg, Dolph Ziggler at SummerSlam. So Goldberg will get that one match to avenge himself. And because it's against Dolph, it looks like Goldberg will easily win that match because Dolph Ziggler is Dolph Ziggler, the Amplified Man. We'll see you guys for the podcast this weekend. For now, check you later.